just because I'm talking in the beginning. So I want you to first start by just closing your eyes and taking your hand and place one hand on your heart and one hand on your upper abdomen, where you can begin to feel the rise and fall of your breath. And as you feel the expansion, both on the front body and along on the back body, it's just softening into it. So if you've had a really hectic morning or a hectic day, maybe even staying here as we begin to move gently. So keeping your eyes closed, I want you to just keep your hands where they are and maybe softly open your eyes and turn your head in one direction. Bring it back to center. And now let's turn in the opposite direction. Bring it back to center. Now bring one hand down beside you. Take the palm of the other hand and lift your arm up and over. So we're just going to start with a little bit of side bending here, which opens up the little tiny muscles. They're called intercostal muscles that connect our ribs together, which allow us to begin to breathe. Now, if your arm can't go over your head like that, just even leaning sideways, maybe taking your arm up as high as you can. You might even bring it more forward so your elbow is bent, and then bring it back, because I do know that shoulders tend to be a little tweaky at times. So now let's do the same thing on the other side. So find your placement with your arm. Take it up first or maybe bent, and then lean sideways. So again, side bending is really good to help you begin to breathe deeper. And now bringing our arm down. Now this time I'd like you to tip your chin up toward the ceiling. And now bring it back to a neutral position, so you're not moving it yet. And tip your chin down towards your chest. Bring it back to a neutral position. From here, we're actually going to come onto our hands and knees. So as you come onto hands and knees, I want you to allow yourself to soften from your tailbone all the way to the crown. So there's no judgment here on how you're going to move. And I just want you to start by just breathing in. So feeling that breath expand and contract. And now rounding your back into cat pose. And now as you release, you're going to continue, and it's almost like you create like a hammock with your spine or a jump rope. And now tuck and round. These exercises are really good for your back to strengthen, but to also stretch. One more time in this cat pose. And one more time as you lift your eyes I'm looking towards my door. Now find a neutral position. Now widen your knees, and you're going to just shift your hips back. Now, I'm going to keep my head up because I'm talking to you, but you can take your head all the way down. Now I want you to extend your arms straight out in front of you. So finding that length from your hip bone all the way through to your fingers here. Now as you inhale, come forward. You're going to bring your hips slightly forward. Then you're going to pull back, taking your hips towards your heels. And you know what? If you might even just be here, and that's perfectly fine. So let your hips go where they naturally would. One more time. Bring it forward. And now gently stay right where you are, but I want you to look at your alignment. So your knees are in alignment over your hips for what is your alignment. The hand is all the way open. So you have a dome in the palm of your hand. And you're going to press through all 10 fingers here. And from here, I want you to extend one leg behind you. And I want you to start, I want to make sure you can see my foot. I want you to start with your toes on the mat. Keep your knee bent, and you're going to press your heel back toward the wall behind you. And now soften your knee. And one more time, you're just going to take it back. Now from here, soften that knee, and you're gonna take your opposite. So for me, it's my right leg and my left arm. And you're gonna take that right arm or left arm and you're gonna lift it up along with that leg in the back. Now for some of you, it might just be a small lift and your balance might be really wobbly. Then lower everything back down. And again, we're gonna lift and lower the hand back to the mat. 3 more times, lift and lower and lift and lower. Last one. Now from here, keep your hands grounded. That leg is going to come out behind you. And I want you to notice that my toes are pointed here. And I want you to just take the top of your foot, so your toes, and then just lift it hip height. And then take it down. And let's lower and lift it here. Keep going for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep that leg extended. And I want you to point through your toes. This next exercise is not easy, but we're going to try it. You're going to make small little circles with your toes. So notice that it's not just my ankle movement, it's my whole leg. And you're going to circle for 4, 3, 2, 1, and a pause. And now reverse it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now from here, you're going to actually pivot that back leg and you're going to come up. So this is where you're going to need your knee pad. And I want you to bring one arm down beside you. And I want you to think about, so we're going to side bend here once again, but we're not going to be adding in this arm just yet. So you're going to side bend. Let that hand travel towards your ankle and then bring it up. So we're going to take it 2 more times like this. And now from here, maybe you're going to keep your hand here. If you like to take it up another notch, you have 2 options for your hands. So one arm or hand can go behind your head or it can extend. And you're going to side bend, let the hand travel. But you want to think about the opening on the opposite side of the body here and bring it up. Let's continue for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, bring your fingertips behind your head if you have not already. From here, we're going to actually twist. So I want you to think about your midline. So you're twisting beyond that midline. And then open it back up. And you're going to twist to your ability as you open. So we're crossing that midline, which is really good for the brain function here. Keep going for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, you've got a lot of options for where we're going next. So we're going to start with our hand on the floor, and your foot is going to be grounded to start with. I want you to take that arm up toward the ceiling, or again, maybe your elbow. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your arm up and you're just gonna lower and lift. Now, if you have a hand weight and you wanna challenge yourself a little bit more, use the hand weight here. So we're just gonna take it up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, this next one is called thread the needle. So if we got 2 options here. So you're gonna bring it underneath you, and then you're gonna open it up toward the ceiling. Now, you can also use your hand to your head and round it down and open. Either way, you're still benefiting because you're crossing the midline, but you're also adding in rotation here. Keep going, and let's take it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, keep your foot still grounded. Now we're going to take it into, I want you to flex your foot. Your arm can stay where mine is at right now. Maybe it comes behind your head, or maybe it extends. So again, you're going to listen to where your body wants you to be tonight. And you're going to lower that foot down. So I'm going to just keep my hand down and then lift. So notice that I'm lifting at hip height, and that's all I'm doing. So if you're seated in a chair, you can also lift and lower one leg. And let's keep lifting for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, from here, you're going to swing the leg so it's going to come out in front of us with our knee bent. And you're going to bring it forward. So now you're stretching through the hip flexor on the opposite side of your leg and pull back. One more time as you do this. Now from here, we're going to bring your hands behind your head or extended. Or you're going to keep them on the tops of your legs. So tops of your thighs, behind your head, or extended. We're going to come, so this is a modified lunge here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your arms down. Sit your hips back to your heels. Maybe come to child's pose. So again, I want you to listen to where you need to be. Let's come back to that breath. So now we've moved our body. And I want you to think about coming back to your breath. So maybe softening your eyes. Maybe you keep them open, but I want you to connect with your breath. So one hand on your heart, one hand on your upper abdominals here. And just take a nice big deep breath in and out. We're going to do the same series on the other side. Now, I'm going to turn and face the camera. So now, let's start with our hands and our knees. Shift your hips back to that child's pose position. Let your arms lift, so your elbows are lifting off the mat. And now bring it forward. And then gently pull those hips back. 2 more times, bring it forward. And gently bring it back. Now the next time you come forward, find your alignment. So try to keep your knees in alignment with your hip bones, and then your shoulders and your hands in alignment. From here, we're going to go into that cat, and then into the cow position here. And let's continue here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. So find your, what I'm going to call, just find it. Now take your leg and extend it back. So this is where we are on the balls of our feet, but you're going to bend your knee and then press yourself back up. So your leg goes from bent to extend, but the extension is really more about your toes stretching. Now from here, take your arm out in front of you, and we're going to lift that leg up and then lower it down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hand, point your toe, and drop that leg or that foot down to the mat. Lift it hip height and then lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Remember, you can always stop at any time. and 1. Now bend your knee, and you're gonna open it out to the side like you're a dog on a fire hydrant here. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now pivot that back leg, and the leg is going to come out to the side, just like we did on the other side. So bring yourself all the way up. Take a minute and pad your knee. And I want you to bring one hand down beside you. We're just going to side bend going to the other side. And you might even notice very subtle differences here between your torso on one side and then bringing it up. And again, let's side bend. And now we're going to add in. Hand stays down, fingertips behind the head, or extend that arm all the way up. Side bend here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hand to the floor. So find that alignment and start by just palms down. We're just going to lift that arm so it's level with your shoulder, or maybe you're only lifting it right here. So you're taking it all the way up if you can, or work within your range of motion. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, turn the palm of your hand upward, and you're going to pull it under you. This is thread the needle, and then open it back up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hand down. Now you can keep your foot down on the floor, lifting that foot up, flexing it, and then tap it down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your leg down, but you're going to swing it to the front. Bring your hands to rest on the top of the thigh, and you're going to press into it so this hip on the opposite side, the hip flexor, and then draw it back. And again, take it forward for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, from here we're going to add in, you can continue with your arms down or on your knees. Hands behind your head or arms extended. And add in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself all the way back. From here, just bring your hands so you're back on your knees. And I want you to shift your weight off to one side. And I want you to stack your legs. Now, for your upper body, if you have difficulty doing these, we're going to do, it's called clam. If you have difficulty doing clam with your upright, you can come to your forearm. Maybe you can pause the video and go and get a pillow, and you can go all the way down onto your side. So you choose the option of where you're going to be. Wherever you are, especially if you're elevated, I want you to think about lifting or engaging. So if you have to take your top hand and really feel those muscles underneath you to get them to engage. Now from here, You're gonna keep your feet glued together. I'm just gonna open that top leg up and then close it. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm going to hold that top leg back, and I want you to press. So when I say press, I'm talking a little tiny movement here, and you're going to probably begin to feel the connection between your leg moving into your abdomen as you're doing this, and press for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1 more. Now keep the knee bent, and you're going to take the leg back slightly, and we're just going to lift it here. And lift for 8. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Now you're going to extend your foot. Notice that it's still flexed, and you're going to pull your heel to your glute. And keep coming here. We have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, as you come up, you're going to take that same leg that we just worked, and I want you to extend your legs out on a diagonal. So we're going to open them up, but I want the leg that we worked just now is what we're going to stretch. So I want you to think about first, but just coming out and over that extended leg. And now as you inhale and come up, we're going to change sides. And notice even the subtle differences here from side to side as you do this. So again, setting yourself up, making sure that you're engaged underneath in your obliques here. So now you're going to open for 8. One more. Now hold it open. Little tiny presses here back to the wall behind you for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift that leg. Take your foot back behind you, and now little tiny lifts here from the hip bone. Wherever my hand is, where you should be moving it from there. And lift for 8, 7. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep your foot flexed, and you're going to extend that foot out. Draw that heel to the glute, and I know it's probably on fire for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself up. Extend those legs, coming out and over that extended leg. Now, as you inhale and come up, keep your legs separated. And I want you to shift your weight. So you're moving through the pelvis here. Bring your hands to the floor. So if you're seated in a chair, you're going to do the same thing. Sit tall, but you're going to bring your fingertips toward the floor. Walk your hands out. Now as you inhale and come up, let's bring our legs a little closer together. I want your arms to come out. I'm going to face you to the camera, and I want the palms down, and we're just going to do tiny little circles here. So think about the movement is coming, it's not from your wrist, it's coming from the shoulder. So palms are down and circle forward for 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we're going to pause, and we're going to reverse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now flip the palms down So my thumb is on the bottom, my fingertips are my little fingers on the top, but I want you to pull your arms back. Now, for some of you, your arms might have to be down here. So you're gonna pick the range from either down close to the floor or up elevated, but I want you to pull the arms back. We're gonna press back. Press for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, come all the way up. I want you to bend your elbows. Let the palms of your hands face each other. So they're even with my shoulders. And now you're going to open them out and then close them up, but you're not going to touch. Envision you're holding like energy between your hands, and as you're doing it, you're pressing, 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 and that's as far as you can go. Keep going. And we have 4, 3, 2, and I want you to keep your arms open, and you're going to do little presses again. Press it back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your arms down. I want you to bend your knees, and we're going to bring our hands to the outsides of our shins. And I want you to think about if you were like, we were opening from the center. And I want you to keep your hands on your lower shins. They're going to move, but this is our starting and our stopping point. And you're just going to open yourself up and then bring your fingertips back here. And again, your opening as far as you need to or you want to, along with that roll back. So for some of you, it might be a really small movement. For somebody else, it might be really expansive. And let's do 4 more. For 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Now sit nice and tall. Extend those legs. Flex your feet. And now bring your arms out in front of you. This is called spine stretch forward. And we're just going to bring it right straight. So we're stacking right straight back up here. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way up. Release your hands down beside you. You can stay with your legs extended, or you can cross your ankles and sit nice and tall. And let's come back to our breath. But this time I want you to really take a big deep breath in, and we're going to make it audible, which means I want you to hear it. So a big breath in, and then let it go. So an audible breath with sound is really what I'm going to call down regulating for your nervous system. Humming, singing, gargling, massaging your neck with your hands can also be really stimulating. So if you find that you're going through the day and you are really tensed up through your shoulders, take a minute and try some of these things. Drinking water so you're swallowing, because the vagus nerve runs on both sides of our neck, and beginning to create a little bit of self-regulation. Anything that we do, like today we did a lot of side bending, is something else that's also very calming, but also twisting. Like we did twisting with our arms, but twisting your body from side to side. So if you're in the classroom and the kids are starting to get hyped up, add in some twisting and some side bending and touching the floor and breathing. I would really be curious as to what your classrooms can do. So I'm talking specifically to the early childhood educators. So let's bring your left hand to your right knee and bring that right hand behind you. Bring it back to center. Let's go to the other side. Bring it back to center. One more time, let's take another side bend here. Hand to the mat or the floor, wherever you're sitting. Your hand can be down, fingertips behind your head, or extend it over. Side bend. Now when we come back up, we're going to take a breath in and now let it go. And again, let's go to the other side. Take your arm over, take a breath in, and let it go. Thank you for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, and share if you like this on the YouTube channel. So thank you. You guys have a great night.